Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. Bunch of news out there, but again, nothing really happened today. Trump says US and India reached a trade deal will lower tariff immediately. Palantir beats earning and the stock is up right now. But a couple of things I want to look at. Few days ago, these things were up massively, gold and silver. Silver is still up today, but not like the way it was going up before. But the other metals did not really do really well today. But the market itself, look at right here. What happened today? I mean, it was a heck of a shit show in the market. And why? Because over the weekend, we saw all the cryptos going down and still down. I mean, just slightly up. As a matter of fact, let's have a look at it. Crypto market, you can see Bitcoin is up 78K, nothing big. We're not even over 80,000. Ethereum is up 1%, 25 bucks, ain't nothing big. XRP is up 2 penny here. I mean, it's crazy. So nothing really big going on. But despite all that, we saw the futures market. First of all, yesterday futures market actually opened lower. We went higher immediately, and then it actually came back and made a new low. It was going down up until I think 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. But look at this manipulation in the market, guys. Advancing now 56%, declining 40. And what happened? Completely a turnaround in the market. Dow is up over 1%, Nasdaq up 0.5%, S&P up over 0.5%, Russell up 0.97%. 11 sectors that actually makes the S&P 500. Consumer defensive led the way on top, financial, industrials, and guess what? We talked about it. Energy took a beating today, and it's down on the day. Financial, industrials, basic materials, healthcare, technology, they were all green for the day. Stock market map, what do we have here? Well, if you look at my screen, the main show was EMU, AMD, Apple, Google, and Amazon. Meta down, Tesla down 2%. We got Walmart. That's another consumer defensive. Costco and Walmart had a massive move, both up 3-4% a piece. Oracle, it was up, but then gave back all the gains down nearly 3%. Microsoft once again down. I think it actually made a new low or pretty much the same low as last Friday. Down over 1.61%. We got Nvidia down nearly 3%. Some of these financial names are up, you can see on my screen. And it just was something unexpected. Market went lower. Nobody was expecting that. Disney was actually up with earnings, but look at the drop here, down over 7%. And here's another one. Caterpillar actually made another brand new all-time high. Now, fear and greed index looks like we moved up a little bit here, and we're just cranking this up. It's now at 61. Nobody wants to sell anything. Nobody wants to take profit. And just like that, market back to all-time highs. And yes, the sell-off was there. Nasdaq was down 2% overnight, but look at what happened. I mean, it's just insane to see these kinds of moves, these kind of swings in the market where you see market going down 2% gap down, and you would think that it's going to open on a gap down. Maybe there is some opportunities for you to buy something, but soon as the ring bells and it's gone unless you're chasing. Uh, Bear bull sentiment, you can see 44.4 percent are bullish, 25% are neutral, and 31% pretty much are bearish in the market. And now I think Apple actually made a big move, so we're gonna get started with Apple stock today. On Apple stock, it's up 4%, and now it's down 0.5%. But Apple, if you look at my screen, yes, we got some volume today on Apple, more than average. But Apple here, it just unexpected. We had some news on Apple far as business in India. And look at the move here. Yes, this is mini head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder here. You can see, but then this was the overhead supply, right? You can see time and time we went higher. It was coming back and holding here at 265, and then we went higher, made brand new all-time high, came back, and it wasn't giving up until this channel broke 265, and then we made a new low here on the daily time frame. But what the heck is happening right now with the news? I mean, you would think that on earnings day, Apple would make this type of move, but what happened on earnings? It was actually red, then went back up, and now it's trading pretty much outside the Bollinger Band at the time of closing. So, what is next? I mean, expected move, we went through that already. This thing can give up some of those gains, even if we come back and retest the neckline here. That's going to be around that, 262 to even 260 mark. So watch out for that. But on its way down, now that we closed over 265, that's going to be key support on a pullback to watch for. But if this thing remains over 268, I don't know how much this thing can go, especially with the Bollinger Band coming down on it. But I think the next stop we can potentially go to like 272.61. That's what I see in next few sessions. And if there is some crazy, rally in the market, everything rallies, then we can see some more upside on Apple. But I'm expecting a move down to maybe 265 into 262, maybe even that 260 range to retest, and then move higher from there. On AMD, it's up 4%, and now it's up another 1%. So AMD just crazy moves in the market, especially within these, chip stocks or semis. Just crazy moves. You can see AMD came back up, went down to that retest 235, and the strong bounce off of that level. This morning, it was actually trading, I believe it was 220 futures market. But again, don't even talk about future market because those are just fake things out there that by the time we retail traders, investors wake up, it's gone. So future market, it was down to 220, but then we opened. Look at where we opened, 236, pretty much where we closed previously on Friday. So here on AMD, guys, 240.75, it's going to be the key support, and then 235. Only if it breaks under 232, and then there is a gap here at 224. To the upside, if you look at my screen, 248 breaks, which we did not do that today. We could be back into that, going back into that all-time high again, which is around 267 on AMD. On Meta, it's down 1.41%, but Meta was down, I think, in futures market again over 3%. But again, this thing just holding up here at the 5-day moving average. We did not touch exactly 700, but we were there close to it, 703, and now trading at 706. So this thing has to hold here at 700. Otherwise, this gap is definitely in play, 677.68. To the upside, if we can hold here at 700, we could see a push towards maybe 725 to 738 in near short term. But I think this is where we're coming here on Meta, and then we'll see if that actually holds up. We could see a push back up to the upside. On Google, stock is up 1.88%, and you can see a clear break over 342. And if it remains over 342, some good earnings come out, we might see it's going up even higher, maybe into 350s. But as of right now, you can see the Bollinger Band is sitting right here at 345, and the stock is trading right about there. So if this thing does not, hold up at 342, we have seen over and over, this was the big push, and then we had a massive move to the downside. Then we had this push. Again, we had a pullback. So if this is the real deal, we have to hold 342 on Google. Otherwise, the next big support is 338, and underneath that, that opens the door for a move down to 328.83 on Google. On Amazon stock, it's up 1.53%. So Amazon all the way up to almost 246, gave back some of those gains before closing, but holding over 242. That is looking bullish technically here on Amazon for a move up to 250. But if this does not hold come tomorrow, they also have earnings coming out, I think Thursday night. You'll see a drop down to 20-day, 239 or 240 in this case, pretty much to the pennies. And then 236, 233, and then 230 all the way down to 223 on Amazon. On Tesla stock is down 2%. So, merger news just faded and looks like, it's probably not even going to happen anymore. And it came down to where? Well, the lower Bollinger Band. So, these people that are pumping this stock saying 800 is coming, I just don't see that anytime soon. Not even that 550, 600 range, unless there is some miracle where there is some crazy news comes out and this thing pushes up like 30, 40 bucks. In that case, it can possibly happen. But as of right now, things are just not looking too good for Tesla. If this thing takes out bottom of this range, like 415, 416, we could be dropping into these lows down here, right around 380, 382. And then we have support at 375. Also, we have a gap down here at 368. And I think that's where Tesla is about to go, but it's going to take some time. If we get a breakout over 432, only then we can talk about upside. You can see even on Friday's session, we did not get that. And today was another day where we did not even get to 432. We got a rejection off of this 5 day 426, 427 was high for the day. And that was it. We got a doji type of candle. So we'll see what decision investors make here on Tesla, if they want to buy this back up to the upside or they want to dump this to the downside. On Microsoft is down again 1.61%, and looks like if it takes out, which it did at that 425, and especially if it takes out Friday's or Thursday's low here, 421, we could be heading into this massive gap, which I think I'm really happy about it. I know a lot of people will say, well, the stock looks like shit. And trust me, I buy these shitty kind of looking charts and the stocks that are coming down, especially when it comes to big names. I'm not bullish when the stock is up here. People will say, oh, this is a breakout. You should be participating in that rally. I'm not a chaser. I'm not going to buy here. I'm not going to go into Microsoft buying at 500. But I think this is getting really to the point where I'm gonna even buy more if this thing comes down to this earnings gap 396. So going into tomorrow's session, the last thing you want to see break below 421. That would be your confirmation for this gap fill, which is gonna come very soon on Microsoft. We get some sort of a bounce 425 to 429, and then 438 resistance level to watch here if this thing moves back up to the upside. On Nvidia, stock is down nearly 3%. So Nvidia came back up, filling the gap right here just underneath 190 from gap down today, but then was not able to hold. And if you look at my screen, we actually took out the 20-day and we closed below that, which is at 186.56. So tomorrow we got a lot of work to do if this thing is going to make a move back up to the upside. But I think something big is about to happen. You can see the Bollinger Band on bottom and the top just squeezing the stock in between, and whenever you see these types of pattern, something big is about to happen, maybe after earnings or maybe going into earnings here on Nvidia. So tomorrow, watch out if it gets over 186.56, you're going to see a move up to 190, 193, 196. Underneath that, we do have strong support in 184, and if that gives up 180, and then this gap fill reversal can act as a support, 176 on Nvidia. On Netflix, again down 0.87%, nearly 1%. And you can see this thing is not stopping for anybody. And today, intraday, we actually came up to that 85 range and we got instant rejection there and now came down and gave back all the gains. So I think in the short term, definitely watch for this low down here, this next critical support around that 77 mark. If this thing cannot get over 85.5 on Netflix, and that is the only way this thing can find a bottom, I think, to get over 85.5. If we're not doing that in next few sessions, we're definitely coming down to this next key zone, which is at 77, and maybe there is a gap below as well. Right here, you can see from before. On Broadcom, it's absolutely flat on the day, but intraday, if you look at my screen, Broadcom actually came up to this trend line. You can see 336, 337, and rejection was there, came back, and now holding that 330 zone. Underneath that, 324, and then all the way down here around 316, down to even that gap 307. We can get over 336 right here. We could see a push. We could be going inside this channel or the flag, bear flag, and then we can talk about more upside on Broadcom. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.